Could you walk us through how your organization approaches early talent identification, especially when recruiting students or fresh graduates? Hello and greetings everyone. I am and I'll be your host at yet another intriguing session of From the Resume 3.0. We are here at SOA Proxima 2026 in association with Times Now, and we are in a collaboration with SOA Photography Club. Today, as a guest, we have Mr. Abhinash Mohapatra, the head of Campus Relations and Recruitment at KPIT. Greetings, sir.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you as the host.
Before we start, how has been your experience at SOA Proxima 2026?
I don't know, it's probably the second or the third time, and every time I come back, it's bigger and it's better. And the entire team of the students, I think that's what it's so creative about the entire program. The students kind of take the entire thing on their shoulders, ably guided by their faculties, and the outcome is there for everybody to see. So I go back amazed and zapped every time I come here.
I'm glad, sir, that you marked our creativity, and I'm glad that you visited it for the second time. And let's start with, to begin with, could you walk us through how your organization approaches early talent identification, especially when recruiting students or fresh graduates?
So I think with early talent, I think it's a race. It's a race where a lot of different companies are looking at hiring the best of the best of the best when it comes to the early career students. Now, for that, every organization has a different strategy, and I have been a part of a couple of different organizations where the strategies are a little bit different. But I think at a high level, every organization kind of looks at it from a standpoint of going down and engaging with the students very early. So it's basically makes a difference, because you start engaging with the students, you start hand-holding them from the jump from the campus to corporate. Second is you go ahead and prepare them for any nuances that are very, very specific to your organization. Third is you know very specifically who's interested, who is the best, and then you spend time and effort accordingly to make them prepared for the organization. One. Second is, for any candidate that you hire from a college, I think the intent is always there that 10 years down the line, how high can the person climb? Right? It is not just about what they are learning in the colleges, but it is all about the attitude and how they are keeping their eyes and ears open, so that going forward they are with the time, if not ahead of it. And that kind of proves a very detrimental factor for any organization which is hiring early talent.
Thank you, sir. Such approach on that adaptability of the students would really help in their corporate culture.
Absolutely.
So, coming to that, how has the definition of employability evolved over the last few years, especially when the rapid changes in technology and work culture?
I think employability is something that is an outcome. So people, when it comes to early careers, it is more about, like I said, you start engaging them very early, maybe the third year, maybe the second year, kind of start looking at it from a standpoint of making the student understand what your organization stands for. Once the students understand, then either they are attracted to your organization or they are not. If they are attracted to your organization, it becomes the responsibility of the organization to handle them across till they come of age and kind of are ready to join the organization. But you made a valid point about the changing environment. Right now, AI is a talking point everywhere. And that's a huge scare that people have, that AI is going to take away their jobs, which I personally doubt. It's a question of somebody having maybe, let's say, the paddles when in a boat, right? You have to have something that is going to make you go faster and faster, right? So AI is something like that, where people are expected to know it, make it their friend well in advance, right? Now, in this, AI is just one such instance, but again, there are a lot of different instances like that where the ecosystem is changing, right? The expectation from the students are changing. In this scenario, I believe while the organizations kind of have a lot of role in terms of propagating the requirement, there is also a big requirement from the students where they are expected to go ahead and keep their eyes and ears open, make sure they know how the world is changing, and be prepared to keep learning starting from square one every time the ecosystem changes. I think a combination of this is going to ensure that the ecosystem survives in any kind of a change in the environment itself.
So coming to that hand holding part, do you think that age being a factor in the young youth? Because as we see that the young students like of 15, 16 years, they pitch their ideas. So will be that like how has been age being a factor in that?
I think it is a very positive factor because I think generation by generation, the younger generation has turned out to be smarter. I mean, there were just libraries and books where people had access to information. Now they have everything. The students have everything under the sun, under their fingertips, right? So that itself is a big change. And in this environment, their access to the information makes them more liable to come up with brilliant ideas as compared to the older generations, right? So it's a two-way traffic where one the early career students right now, they need to use the information in a very constructive manner and not in a very not in kind of wrong usage of time. And at the same time, the older generation also has to have the opportunity to go ahead and keep their eyes and ears open for some new ideas that are coming through to the from the early career students. Second, or finally, it has to meet somewhere. The ideas have to be tested for feasibility from the older generation, and together they can make a difference.
Sure, sir. So thank you for that. And coming to that, in the age of AI tools and online resources, how do companies ensure that technical assessments truly reflect a candidate's independent thinking and problem solving ability?
So I think while AI is being used to go ahead and change the format of doing it, but again the overall the entire gamut of things still remains the same. So when I say that AI may be used to kind of replace the interview of, for example, right? Uh, 2 years ago, I kind of brought in AI interviews at scale, and over a period of time, we have realized that that is the way to go, right? But having said that, have we do we want to go ahead and completely move away from the interviews, the human interviews? Maybe not. That's something that we have to look at it from a standpoint of, does it need to be an additional factor? Probably in the early careers it is not needed, but at a lateral stage, the AI interviews can become the base on which the human interview is scheduled. So it has to be a cohesive world that we are looking at, where we are looking at technology, mixing technology with human empathy, both combined to get the best results.
Thank you, sir. And such deep and industry highlights and insights would really help the young youth to just add upon their corporate culture and their beginning to their corporate culture. And your insights about the AI would really help the youth that they would not fear upon them losing their jobs. It's they're just evaluating and going through and evolving through the AI. Thank you, sir. For such more content, do subscribe to SOA English Cafe YouTube channel. Thank you, sir.